My name is Lydia Anderlini, and this video is about the science of identical twins. Identical twins start out like any other babies, with one egg and one sperm that combine to form one fertilized egg, or zygote. However, this fertilized egg does something weird and randomly splits into two separate fertilized eggs with the same set of DNA. And 9 months later, if all goes well, you get two genetically identical babies. Even once we know this, the question still stands. Are identical twins really exactly the same just because they have the same set of DNA? Here are some pictures of me and my identical twin sister from when we were at different ages, and I can see clear differences between us in all of these pictures, and most people can too. So, what conclusion does this lead us to? It leads us to the conclusion that not really. Identical twins aren't really the same person just because they have the same DNA. These differences come from three main things. The first thing is changes that happen in utero. The second thing is mutations and changes that happen because of them. And the third thing is epigenetics. If we take a closer look at changes that happen in utero, we can see that fingerprints come in here. Fingerprints are partially because of genetics and partially come from the baby's interaction with his surroundings in utero. They're unique to each individual person and to each individual twin. There can also be problems in utero, including twin-to-twin syndrome, which happens when the one placenta gives too many nutrients to one twin and not enough to the other, and it can cause serious health risks for the underfed twin. There's also conjoined twins, which happen when the fertilized egg doesn't fully split, and it actually develops into twins that can be sharing body parts. This is extremely rare and only happens in 1 in 200,000 cases of identical twins. The second thing comes from mutations. Moles are an example of mutations and are a change in the skin cells itself, and I have a mole on my left chin, she doesn't. Now, the third thing is epigenetics. What are epigenetics, you might ask? Epigenetics is a relatively new field of science, and here's the definition from the Oxford Dictionary. If we want to see how it actually works, we can start out with one chromosome. If we take a closer look at this, we can see that it's really just bound up really tightly DNA. And if we take an even closer look at this, we can see one gene. This gene might have some methyl groups attached to it, and these methyl groups can actually determine which genes are more or less likely to become proteins, effectively turning the genes on and off, and these can be different from twin to twin. There are many things that can affect your epigenetics: what you eat, your environment, but also what your parents ate before you were born and what your parents' environments were before you were born. There was an experiment done where one rat gave birth to two genetically identical rats, and they looked completely different because their epigenetics were different because of the things they ate. Now, if this still doesn't make sense to you, you can think about it like two keyboards. If you have the same set of keyboards but you press down on two different keys, you can end up playing two different songs, which is like what happens with epigenetics and identical twins. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Here are my sources.